This is American Gladiators. Selected from a nationwide search, 20 men and women have come to Hollywood to challenge our force of American Gladiators for a single honor, to become American Gladiators champions. Now, here are your American Gladiators: Gemini, Lace, Nitro, Gold, Laser, Blaze, Thunder, Ice, Turbo, and Diamond. The host for American Gladiators, Mike Adamle, and his co-host, Larry Csonka.
Hi again, everyone. I'm Mike Adamle, and glad you could join us for another edition of the American Gladiators. We've got two brand new events, a revamped Eliminator Final, and 20 brand new contenders who were selected from a nationwide talent search. And with their athletic skills, they'll have a chance to earn over $150,000 in cash and prizes. We also have a brand new co-host. He's Hall of Fame fullback from the Miami Dolphins, still looking lean and mean, Mr. Larry Csonka. Sonk, good to have you here, and it must be nice after all those years in the National Football League. You're kind of a rookie again. This is your first go-around in American Gladiators.
First time out. It's exciting for me to be around this much action, this much muscle and movement, and not have to pay the price. You know, I won't have to bleed. I won't have to fix any of the bruises or the bumps.
Well, I don't know if that scenario will take place, but we are sure to have some very heated competition. And with that in mind, let's meet the contenders for this preliminary round.
In our women's preliminary, please welcome Sheila Mercer of Phoenix, Arizona, a firefighter. And her opponent, Trish Tillotson of Wichita, Kansas, a teacher. In the men's competition, here's Rico Costantino of Santa Ana, California, a bodyguard. And his opponent, John Adams of Oakland, California, an account representative.
Our contenders in the blue both have martial arts experience. John, you're a brown belt in judo. What about your focus? That's got to help, I think.
Absolutely. Being able to keep the emotions under control and to stay focused under any circumstances.
Trish, a black belt in karate. Do you expect that hand-to-hand combat experience to help you here?
Yeah, I do. I think it'll help a lot with quickness and stamina, endurance, and just mental focus.
Okay, Csonk?
Well, Rico, I understand that you've done a little security work with some of the rock groups. Do you think anything that you've done there might help you today?
Especially in Powerball, be quick, move fast, and up the wall.
Sheila, this is just another day at work for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's going to be tough, but it's going to be so much fun.
Good luck to both of you.
Contenders, best of luck. There's sure to be plenty of heat because you have to face our American Gladiators. Let's get it on. If you haven't seen American Gladiators before, here's how our competition works. Our contenders, 2 men and 2 women, will compete against our American Gladiators in 7 very different events. Now, the contenders who amass the most points in those 7 confrontations automatically advance to the next round and move one step closer towards our championship final. With that in mind, we are ready now for our first event, Men's Powerball. With an explanation, here's Csonka.
Powerball, the blood and guts event of American Gladiators. Powerball, our 2 contenders will compete simultaneously, each removing a scoring ball from the buckets on opposite ends of the field with the idea of putting this ball in one of 5 scoring pods located in the center of the field. The 4 outside pods will be worth 1 point, but the centermost pod will be worth 2 points. Sounds easy, doesn't it, ladies and gentlemen? But you have to consider that we're going to have 3 gladiators trying to stop them from scoring. Good luck, everyone. Let's have at it.
And that terrible trio, Nitro, Gemini, and our newest Gladiator, Thunder. They'll be going up against Rico, Costantino, and John Adams. Rico, of course, the bodyguard, makes his home in Santa Ana, California, 5'11", 215.
And John Adams, account representative, makes his home over in Oakland, California, 6 foot, 180 pounds.
Once again, the contenders have 45 seconds to score as many goals as they can. The match is on. And John Adams quickly scores against Nitro.
Another nice move, almost into the pod, but a little seizure up high.
Rico with the nice move around Thunder. And John Adams scores in that middle cylinder. That, of course, worth 2 points. Both men extremely quick. Gladiators not quite up to snuff here. They usually are much more adept at stopping the contenders.
Thunder was pretty adept at putting down Rico on that last one. He did a double wrap and forced his head right into the mat.
Gemini working over Rico pretty good. No goal there. As we run down the final seconds of this Powerball match.
Gemini certainly warmed up this morning. He's moving back and forth like a defensive back, end to end.
And that is it. John Adams has won it 3-1 here.
John Adams opening up with a nice move, avoiding the two Gladiators. Rico doing the same thing, planning and coming back against the field. And finally, John Adams taking advantage of the Gladiators' divided attention and scoring.
No rust on these guys after the off season. The Gladiators are still mighty tough. Gemini, what about your new partner here, Thunder?
Oh, we're very happy to have Thunder. He gives us that strike we need. You know, Powerball is the event that gets the Gladiators adrenaline going, gets us fired up, and Thunder has that streak in him that we like.
What about that streak, Thunder?
Well, you know, it's my first season out, and I hope that it's going to be a successful season for the Gladiators. I'm real happy to be here, and I hope the streak continues forever.
Yeah.
Larry?
Rico.
Yeah.
Great halfback move. I saw that hip. You threw the leg out, drew the shoulder back. Nice job.
Those guys are real big and quick. As I try to avoid any contact from them, try to score the buckets.
John, on the other hand, you scored big.
Yeah, well, it's called self-preservation out there.
I saw you were evasive in the early goings on, but then Rico threw a nice block for you, drew two of the Gladiators, and you zipped into the middle.
Oh, definitely a team effort.
Team effort, but however, you get the points. Congratulations again. Mike?
Gladiators, nice job. Take a breather. Coming up next, it's women's Powerball. We'll be back with more of the American Gladiators.
Well, John and Rico teamed up to give John a 3-1 win in Powerball. But there's more action coming up. Next, the joust and the game of assault. But up next, the women's turn in Powerball.
Welcome back to Universal Studios Hollywood. It's the women's turn to shake and bake. The name of the game, Powerball.
Ice, Lace, and Gold make up our terrible trio of blondes to take on the contenders in this match. Introducing Trish Tillotson first. 5'8", 145 pounds, and ready to go.
Trish from Wichita, Kansas. Her preliminary round opponent, Sheila Mercer, a firefighter from Phoenix, Arizona. And both women qualified for the American Gladiators in Phoenix. They've become very good friends. Sheila in the red, Trish in the blue. Sheila scores quickly and scores first.
Trish suffering the consequences of being wrapped up by ice. Looks like Sheila's going to get the same favor.
Gold doing a good job on Trish right now. A very physical game of Powerball.
A lot of hits up high. There's a wraparound and a takedown by Gold.
Both Gold and Ice don't shy away from contact. There, Gold rips the ball away from Trish Tillotson. 10 seconds to go now. And both contenders running out of steam.
Running out of steam and taking a beating physically. They've been to the mat several times.
Jump shot finally by Sheila Mercer, and that is it. Sheila Mercer, the winner, 3-0.
Well, it was pretty, but it was also physical. Many trips to the arena floor. As we watch here, Ice squaring up and taking Trish on a trip down to the mat. And then Gold without the great position, making the flying tackle, but Sheila manages the score.
Just like the men's American Gladiators, the women's Gladiators have two new teammates. One of them, Ice. Ice, you picked up the game very, very fast.
It's a lot of fun. Your adrenaline's starts pumping, and you know, I'm the new Gladiator, and I have to prove myself out here. Nobody can get past me.
Lace, it was quite obvious you haven't lost your touch.
I love my new teammates. I'm really happy that I'm back, and the audience is terrific today, and we're ready to rock.
Gold, last season you were a rookie. Now you're a sophomore, so to speak, sophomore Gladiator. And you, too, haven't lost your touch either.
All I had to say is, Ice, you're a great addition to the team.
A terrific trio, Ice, Lace, and Gold. Larry?
Sheila, great job. It's obvious to me that you've been involved in some combative sports before.
Well, at the station, we play basketball for PT, and I'm probably the only girl with 9 men your size, so I kind of have to try to do the best I can to survive out there.
It's obvious you don't take a back seat to anyone. Congratulations. Trish, it got a little physical out there. I heard some thumps and hits like the football field. How do you feel?
Felt great. Didn't get any in, but it sure felt great fighting it there. It was a blast.
Those gladiators play for keeps. Good luck.
So after one event in the women's competition, Sheila Mercer with a 3-0 lead over Trish Tillotson. In the men's competition after one, John Adams leads Rico Costantino 3-1. And Rico's up next in the joust. Earlier, we asked him why he wanted to compete on the American Gladiators. Here's his answer.
Competition. I love competing. It's something that's inside me. It's in my heart. Man against man, you know, to see if you're the best. It's a challenge. I do well in challenges.
And now the challenge facing Rico is laser.
On guard. 30 seconds to knock the gladiator off the pedestal. That's the mission of the contender. Rico fending off the early blows of laser. Doing a great job of it. He's got laser going and finally knocks him off. Big victory for Rico Costantino. Hey, yo, Rico. Yo. That took only 11 seconds, pal.
It was a long 11 seconds, I'll tell you that.
The amazing thing about that performance, laser laid you with about 5 different shots right off the bat, nearly knocked you off the pedestal, but you withstood his attack.
Low center of gravity. The man hits hard. Good one, too.
Was that a payback for what happened to you in Powerball?
Yeah.
Nicely done.
Thank
Rico.
you.
As we see a shot of Rico's girlfriend in the audience. Next up, John Adams, and he's going to face Laser.
Laser out for a little revenge. His pride has been wounded after losing to Rico Costantino.
And Laser immediately goes on the attack and scores a hit on John's head.
John down on the seat of his pants, almost off the pedestal. Great job of getting back up, and there he goes, though.
John took 2 or 3 solid blows to the head. This man has to have a little bit of a headache. But he gives a nice sportsman salute up to Laser. Great, great competition.
Laser, that's a little more like it.
You better believe it. I'm on a roll now. I got 1 for 1. I got about 20 more to go. I'll have to see. He was tough. He was really tough.
You did something that's known in the boxing vernacular as finishing the man off. You had John on the seat of his pants, and then you finished him off.
Yeah, that's what I did. I boxed for 4 years, so kind of gave him the old 1-2. Thanks, Mike.
Way to go. Laser.
So, Laser goes 1 for 2 in this joust, and as a result, Rico takes 10 points away with his victory. So now, after 2 events, Rico takes the lead over John 11-3. Now it's the women's turn with Sheila leading Trish 3-0.
And Sheila will be first up in the joust. She'll be doing battle with Diamond, one of our new gladiators here, and it's an upset anytime the contenders can knock the gladiators off the pedestal. Diamond, a very formidable opponent, but those pugil sticks a little awkward to handle if you haven't used them before. Sheila doing a pretty nice job, however.
She took a little punishment early on, but she comes back strong and takes out Diamond with a mighty blow from the pugil stick. Sheila a little intimidated at the beginning, but after a few hits to the head, I think the old gander came up. How about it, Mike?
Hey, firefighter, that was impressive stuff.
Oh, man, thanks. That felt good.
You almost lost your pugil stick several times, but were able to recover, regroup, and knock Diamond to the mat.
I almost lost my stick, but I just had to hold on and just try to get a backswing, and luckily it worked, man.
Nice to have some added support. Sheila. Had to help. Nice start, Sheila. Sheila Mercer.
And next up, Trish is going to square off against Diamond. Trish needing to get on board to stay up with Sheila's great start.
And Diamond, like Laser in the men's joust, wanting a little bit of revenge. Her pride has been wounded as well. Whoa, right off the bat, Trish Tillotson with a lunge that sends Diamond's head backwards. Now she's off balance, comes over to Trish's platform. That, of course, disqualifies our gladiator, and Trish Tillotson the winner.
Diamond very upset with her performance, and here, ladies and gentlemen, is the definition of whiplash.
When an opponent is drawn over to the other pedestal, it means instant disqualification. Trish, you were able to do that to Diamond, and you look like you don't take any mess up there.
I'm here to fight. I love it! Yes!
The secret is good balance?
Yes.
And having fan support from Phoenix, Arizona. They're back. Nice going, Trish Tillotson.
Both a very physical and exciting joust as both Trish and Sheila earn 10 points. And as a result, Sheila now leads 13-10. Still to come on the American Gladiators is the wall and the human cannonball. But up next, our game of assault.
Welcome back to Universal Studios Hollywood, where we're standing by for the game of assault.
Here, ladies and gentlemen, is what the contender sees as he tries to hit the target located above the gladiator, using first the crossbow. A miss there sends a contender on a mad dash over to here, the rocket launcher. Then it's on to the third safe zone where a cannon awaits. After the cannon, moving on closer to the next safe zone where he has a chance to fire the pistol. Then there's the final attempt to hit the target with 3 softballs. Once the contender runs out of ammo, he may earn 4 points if he can cross the finish line without being hit in 60 seconds.
And Larry, the men are up first with Rico leading John by a count of 11-3. John Adams is up first. Brown belt in judo, John told us how martial arts helped him prepare for the competition.
Most of all, you have to be able to think in the heat of battle. There's a tendency to let emotions get the best of you, and you just have a knee-jerk reaction. Judo taught you the discipline and the mental toughness to take a step back, take stock of the situation, and then act or react accordingly.
A look of intensity on John's face as he gets ready to go into the assault.
Same can be said for our Gladiator Turbo, who will be firing that cannon that shoots tennis balls in excess of 100 miles per hour.
John wasting no time getting a hold of the crossbow, a low and outside shot. And doing a little tumbling, getting over to the rocket launcher. A little low, almost got the gladiator in the left foot.
John trying to set that cannon again. His shot is low. John Adams still has plenty of time, though. That shot is high and wide. Something that a contender pioneered last year, something we call the roll-a-dope, not working for John Adams. 3 tennis balls. He fires left-handed all low of the mark. Still has a chance to earn that draw, and he does. Next time.
Turbo says next time. How about it, Mike?
John Adams, you have been watching far too many Bruce Lee movies, Chuck Norris movies. You didn't have to roll out there like that.
I feel like giving as thin a line as possible to aim at.
Some of your shots were not that bad, and you actually had about 25 seconds when you came to the final safe area, but you kind of got rid of your ammunition too quick.
Yeah, I should have been paying a little more attention to the clock. And also, I started out counting the tennis balls he was shooting and lost track. But next time I'll know I have a little extra time.
However, you were good enough and quick enough to get the draw. Nicely done. All right, way to go.
Up next, Rico. Costantino still enjoying a 11-7 lead right now, but looking forward to some more points. He's going to have an opportunity to practice some of that bodyguard duty he's done before by protecting his body in this competition.
And remember, Turbo hasn't forgotten that he let John Adams get the draw.
Rico almost overrunning his safe spot. Let's see how he does with a crossbow. A little high and wide, Mike, off to the left.
Rico's got the good quicks, though. He gets over to the next safe area. Sets up with the rocket launcher. And exposes a little bit too much of his body. Larry Thompson, our referee, saw that the tennis ball caught Rico in the right arm.
One shot, take him down.
Turbo obviously very happy with his performance. As we look over Rico's right shoulder, and you'll see in slow motion coming down the middle of the screen, the tennis ball that nips Rico on the elbow. The crowd still carrying on their love affair with Rico. Men's scores after 3 events. Rico 11, John 7. Women's score after 2 events. Sheila 13, Trish 10. Mike?
And Trish Tillotson is up first in assault, and she'll be trying to dodge the shots of Blaze. Look on Trish's face. She is all business.
Oh, Mike, she runs the gamut getting over to the crossbow. She does the hop, the fade, the jump.
She definitely has happy feet, an outstanding all-around athlete. She's run a marathon. She's been a bodybuilder, a 4-year letter winner in field hockey at Old Dominion. Now, if she could just shoot.
She obviously is good at moving around the course, very quick, happy feet as you alluded to, but she has a little problem with her aim.
She would just set herself a little more, she might be more accurate. Still with a lot of time on the clock. And 3 last chances here to hit that target located above the Gladiator. Low, low again. Come on, Trish, take your time. That one was high. Trying to get the draw. All she has to do is cross that finish line without being hit, and she does. 4 points for Trish Tillotson.
She had a workout. And coming at you, we're going to call this shot the rocket cam. Why? It brings the rocket right to your living room. However, hitting our cameraman is worth no points, Mike.
All right, up next is Sheila Mercer. She takes a couple of deep breaths. She's ready to go against Blaze.
Ready.
Again, each contender has 60 seconds to try to hit that target located above the Gladiator. If you hit the red portion of the target, it's worth 7 points, a bullseye worth 10.
Sheila taking a little more time, a little more deliberate on her aiming procedures.
Hopefully that'll pay off. She gets to the second safe zone.
A little tricky here at the rocket launcher. Comes out, keeps it going. Oh, near miss.
Sheila now working against the clock, less than 30 seconds. She's had a lot of near misses.
Aims well, and she does a good job getting from safe zone to safe zone. Just a little more time on the aiming.
Sheila now at the pistol. Yes, she got it. She got the red area of that target, and that's worth 7.
And you're looking at a happy gal enjoying the celebration and sharing in the jubilation her parents that came in all the way from Phoenix.
Sheila, I thought we were going to have to use the old adage, close doesn't count except in horseshoes and hand grenades. You came so close with your first 3 shots, and then finally you did it.
You just have to take your time on that last pistol and just look through that little aim hole and just get that target right in there and fire away, baby.
Is it that much fun to hit that target? I mean, you are wild, girl.
Oh, man, I'm so excited. This is the best time of my life.
Way to go, Sheila Mercer. Sweet shooting, babe.
Sheila all smiles. Women's assault score, Sheila 7, Trish 4. Women's score after 3 events, Sheila 20, Trish 14.
In the men's competition after 3 events, Rico leads John 11-7. We're ready now for our next event. Here's Larry.
The wall is an event where our 2 contenders compete simultaneously, each trying to be first to the top of the 32-foot high summit. But it's not a free climb. For 10 seconds after they begin, the Gladiators go up after them to pull them off. And understand Mike Adamle is on his way to the top as we speak. Mike?
Well, Csonka, one of the advantages of wearing this helmet cam is that it gives the perspective of what it would look like if the contender or Gladiator peeked back to the studio audience. It gives you a sense of how high this 32 feet really is. Now, the key thing on this wall, of course, are the grips. They are what the Gladiators and contenders will be holding on to and pulling themselves up with. The contender who has the strongest hands, the strongest upper body, and the most nerve is the man who will make it to the top first.
I can't believe they got you on that thing, Mike. As we look at John preparing his psyche to go up the wall, of course, he's going to be followed by Gemini. And Rico preparing himself to go up, and he's going to be followed by Laser.
And as you mentioned earlier, Larry, part of the rules of this competition, each contender given a 10-second head start. John Adams in the blue, Rico Costantino having some problems early on in the red.
Mike, that's got to wear on your psyche, that false start, double start. You know that Gladiator's going to hit the wall right behind you. Terrible temptation to look back to see where he's at. Good thing Rico's resisting the temptation.
But after those early difficulties, Larry, Rico doing very well, moving quickly on the right-hand side. He'll make it to the top first.
John Adams seeing that out of the corner of his eye, but not giving up, making sure that he gets up on top of the wall also.
Two for the top and points for both of our contenders. John Adams, you were second to the top. You still get 5 points, and I get the feeling that if you were facing anybody but Rico, you might have won this event.
Rico's tough. What he's doing is actually he's pushing me to higher and higher limits. I appreciate that.
I think both of you are pushing each other. Rico, you did so in 26 seconds, and you did so slipping at first, and you were going against the best Gladiator in Laser.
He is a good Gladiator. The thought of him pursuing me lighted a fire where I sit down. I said, I gotta get up this wall before he comes and gets me. I'm just glad I made it up first.
10 points for you. Rico, well done. John, nice going. Congratulations to both men. they're on their way down. And when we come back, more of the American Gladiators.
Men's score after 4 events, Rico 21, John 12. Still to come, human cannonball, followed by atmosphere. But up next, the women's turn to scale the wall.
Welcome back to Universal Studios Hollywood, and I'm 32 feet high above our studio floor for our next event, the women's wall.
And the women's score after 3 events, Sheila 20, Trish 14. As we look at Sheila preparing her mind to go up the wall. Gold, of course, is going to follow her up. Trish getting her mind right, and she's going to be followed up the wall by Ice.
And our 2 contenders, once again, will be competing side by side. They have 60 seconds to make it to the top. They're both given a 10-second head start. A look now at Sheila Mercer in the red, and she falls off early on.
Trish climbing steady, not real pretty. She's kind of contemplating each move as you see Sheila with her second start being pulled off by Gold.
Trish, meanwhile, steadily working her way up to the top. As you mentioned, Larry, not an aesthetic-looking climb, but effective here.
Seems to be having a little trouble at the outcropping. If you notice, the wall kind of goes out away. You've got your back to the ground. You're fighting gravity right at this point.
Ice still determined to get Trish.
Trish makes it up the wall. Here's a happy gal.
Well, Trish, I don't think you ever thought that the view from 32 feet high could look this good.
It looks awesome. I love it.
You made it up in 44 seconds, and how aware were you that Ice was in pursuit?
I knew she was there, but I didn't think about it. My energy was going up, and I was going to stand on top.
We talked about some of the secrets that make someone good in this event, upper body strength and a great grip. And, folks, I want you to take a look at these hands. Those are hard-working hands. They've got a lot of callus there, and they're the reason why she made it to the top first. Way to go, Trish.
Women's wall score, Trish 10, Sheila 0. Women's score after 4 events. Trish takes first lead, 24-20. Men's score after 4 events, Rico 21, John 12.
And Larry, we are now ready for the next event, men's human cannonball. John Adams and Rico Costantino. John will be going against Nitro. Rico will have to swing against Thunder. Both contenders given 2 swings, each successful swing worth 5 points.
Both gladiators facing tremendous momentum at impact from the contender swinging down at them. We talked about it earlier. It's a little like a freight train.
Here they come, John and Rico. Thunder almost hangs on, so did Nitro, but ultimately both went off. Just too much force to deal with.
As you see, both of our contenders taking the high jump, getting the good seat, knees tucked. Nitro being blown right off. Thunder maintaining his balance for a little while, but not very long.
Now the second swing coming up. Rico will take on Nitro, and John will do battle with Thunder. Thunder might have had the right idea, Larry, by getting nice and low. Nice low center of gravity. He hangs on right there. Nitro cannot do the same against Rico Costantino.
Thunder getting deep-seated, but Nitro blown off again. As we see it from the cam view atop of Rico's helmet, you can follow it right in at the impact with Nitro. Nitro, he just was a little too high right off the pedestal.
So Rico picks up 10, John 5 in human cannonball. After 5 events, Rico with a 31-17 lead. In the women's competition after 4, Sheila leads Trish 24-20, and it's their turn now for human cannonball.
We've got some tight competition here. Trish jumped to a lead in the last event. Cannonball should be very, very evenly matched for these two.
Well, in terms of size and body weight, both Trish Tillotson and Sheila Mercer will be swinging about 145 pounds in Blaze and Lace's direction.
Wonder what that poundage is in momentum and impact when they meet those gladiators.
Suffice to say a lot. Here they come. Sheila's off first. There goes Lace, there goes Blaze. As we mentioned, the force that both those contenders generated, just too much for our gladiators.
Here, the Blaze was a little high. She never had even a shot at it. As you watch here on the split screen setup, you'll see both of them make impact. Lace goes right off. Blaze has a chance to do a little pirouette, but can't execute it. Ends off the pedestal, too.
So both women with a chance to earn the full complement of points. 2 successful swings worth 10. Here they come. Second swing. Down go both the Gladiators again.
Well, it's going to be back to impact school for our Gladiators. They're a little dismayed about it. Both of the girls need to learn to get a little lower, I think, before impact.
You know, Trish and Sheila, I'm beginning to think you guys, even though you're locked in mortal combat here, I'm beginning to think that you're twins or at least sisters. You both qualified from Phoenix. You look like synchronized swimmers the way you knocked the Gladiators off simultaneously. You two are supposed to be competing against each other.
We're a team. We're a team. We're at point, baby.
Hey, there's nothing more I can say. Their expression says it all. Well done.
Couple of happy contenders having a good time. Women's cannonball score, Sheila 10, Trish 10. Women's score after 5 events, Trish 34, Sheila 30. And still to come here at American Gladiators, the Eliminator. But up next, Atmosphere.
Welcome back to Universal Studios Hollywood for more of the American Gladiators. I'm Mike Adamle along with Larry Csonka. And Csonka, our next event, something called Atmosphere.
Sort of a rock'em, sock'em, bang'em up, clang'em up demolition derby.
The operative words here, smash, mash, and bash.
And our men's score after 5 events, Rico 31, John 17. In Atmosphere, our 2 contenders are going to compete simultaneously in an effort to roll their ball into one of the 4 red, white, and blue scoring pods worth 1 point each. At the same time, 2 gladiators, in this case Turbo and Gemini, will be trying to keep the contenders from scoring by means of their own spheres.
John Adams, one of the contenders, going against Rico Costantino, getting locked inside of his Atmosphere, and there goes Gemini. He really goes berserk inside that cage. He gets mad in this event.
Rage in a cage.
Bringing it home to you, buddy.
Turbo kind of fills that sphere up, doesn't he, Mike?
Not much room for anybody else in there besides Turbo.
I wouldn't want to be in there with him.
Ready, red.
Referee Larry Thompson making sure everyone is set to go in this event.
Spotters ready.
A look at the 4 red, white, and blue scoring pods you see there. Those plumes of smoke, actually harmless nitrogen gas, to indicate to the audience and the contenders that someone has indeed scored.
2 midfield collisions. They single off, square off on each other. John Adams trying to get into the scoring pod, but Gemini says no. Seeing that he's blocked, he heads on down all the way to the end of the court. Looks like no. Gemini says no again.
And down at the other end, Rico Costantino trying to get inside the pod, but he can't settle either. Turbo doing a great job of keeping him out.
We have some bent steel out there, Mike.
A lot of bent steel and hopefully not bent contenders. John Adams again trying to settle in and can't do it. Neither can Rico.
Great defensive battle as our Gladiators deny. Well, we've got one in. John Adams managed to get in the pod right at the end, and finally we get the plume. He gets the point.
15 seconds ago, Rico desperately trying to score and tie this match up. Can he stay in there? No. Turbo again thwarts his effort.
It's a wonder that Turbo's sphere will roll at all, as many dents as he has in it now.
1 second left. That last attempt for a goal by Rico does not count, and that is it. The only goal of the game scored by John Adams.
Even though John had position several times throughout the match, he only managed to settle the sphere into the pod this one time and pick up the point. Rico, being chased around the field all day by Turbo, finally manages to get in the pod, but Turbo delivers the smash that sends him out without any points.
John Adams picks up 1 point in Atmosphere, and after 6 events in the men's competition, Rico leads John 31-18. After 5 events in the women's competition, Trish over Sheila by 4 points as Diamond gets set inside of her Atmosphere.
And notice Diamond has a lot more room inside her sphere than does Turbo.
And it is going to be fun to watch ice. Now, she has so much power, and power is the name of the game in Atmosphere, to really be able to get that Atmosphere moving.
She can get it moving, but does she have the finesse? Does she have the understanding of it, how to settle it, how to stop it and reverse her field? That's what gets tricky.
Sheila Mercer will be inside the red Atmosphere. There's ice. Referee Larry Thompson getting ready to start this match. I love that shot. Looks like we're set to go. Once again, 60 seconds to score as many times as you can.
Sheila getting down the floor rapidly, trying to settle into that pod, but just couldn't quite get it in.
Larry, it doesn't look like you expend much energy, but you really do. This is quite a workout.
Watch Sheila driving down, settling into the pod. Appears she has the point. Seems a little questionable.
We didn't see the plume of smoke, but they did give it to her. Indeed, she scored. So Sheila leads here with 30 seconds to go, 1-0. She finds herself pinned against that one barrier. Here's Trish Tillotson trying to even things up. She's got the atmosphere moving. Can she stay in that scoring pod? Yes. So it's all tied at 1. 18 seconds to go now. And both Ice and Diamond relentless in their pursuit. Here's Sheila again trying to score and break the deadlock. Can't stay in there. Ice does a great job. Right when Sheila thinks she's got it done, there's Ice on her tail.
Sheila has to feel like she's dealing in a mirror. Every motion gets a counter motion from Ice. Seems a little frustrating at times as we watch a replay of Trish trying to learn how to settle this thing into the pod to get the point.
Both women score a goal, and after 6 events, Trish Tillotson leads Sheila Mercer by 4. Who will advance to the quarterfinals? That will be decided next in the Eliminator. Welcome back to Universal Studios Hollywood for our final event, the Eliminator.
Both contenders start at the treadmill. At the top, each contender will cross a 30-foot span by means of a specially designed hand bike. Then across the balance beam, where instead of medicine balls, our gladiators now throw weighted blocking pads at the contenders.
This is just the beginning. If you're lucky to make it this far, it's time to climb a 20-foot cargo net. From there, a zip line takes you down the entire length of the arena floor. It's quite a ride, and the only break the contender gets during this event. From there, it's one final straightaway where the contenders have to negotiate a set of hurdles before the standard conclusion, a choice of which lane to pick, and a possible confrontation with a gladiator before crossing the finish line. The women's score entering this event, Trish Tillotson with a 4-point lead over Sheila. That translates to a 2-second differential. That's what Sheila would need to win by to advance to the quarterfinals. Sheila Mercer in the red, Trish Tillotson in the blue. They have been close all competition long. They both qualified from the same regional in Phoenix. They're great friends, but now one winner only, and that one goes on to the quarterfinals.
Notice, Mike, they weren't smiling all that much at each other right before they began the Eliminator.
Sheila having her problems with the hand bike, trying to get it moving. Trish Tillotson with the lead. Sheila goes down.
Sheila losing some very crucial points at this point. She's got to get back up top and get across the balance beam. She's having trouble getting back up onto the platform.
Trish got winged by that blocking pad, but was able to keep her balance and jump to the platform. Now she's going up on the cargo net. Sheila Mercer trying to keep her balance. She does and just makes it.
She's lost some very valuable time here. This is no place to try to make it up on this cargo net. That's a very demanding part of the Eliminator.
And down the zip line goes Trish Tillotson with a healthy lead over her friend and competitor here in the final event, the Eliminator. Across the hurdles.
Does a little layout and lands flat on the floor, but is across the finish line.
So Trish is assured of a berth in the quarterfinals, and Sheila could make it too. Our 5 preliminary winners go, but the next 3 highest scores go as well, and Sheila has piled a lot of points up in this preliminary round against Trish Tillotson. Blaze trying to keep her from crossing the finish line, but finally she does.
Not a real friendly finish there at the end between Sheila and Blaze.
And this was Sheila's Waterloo on the hand bike. She lost her rhythm and lost her grip. That was it.
Trish, congratulations.
Thanks.
Burnt up the track. Was there one part of the Eliminator that you really felt where you were going into the lead and you kind of had it in hand?
No, not at all. Not against that girl. There's no way she'd come back in a heartbeat. And when you're concentrating on what you're doing, you don't know where anybody is. You're just focused on you.
Trish, congratulations on your victory today.
So there you have it, as Trish automatically advances to the quarterfinals. Now, after 6 events in the men's competition, Rico Costantino with a 31-18 lead over John Adams. And what that means, John would have to win the Eliminator against Rico by more than 6.5 seconds.
Look of concern, concentration on the face of John Adams as he prepares to head up the treadmill.
John Adams in the blue, Rico Costantino in the red.
Ready!
And referee Larry Thompson sends our contenders on their way. Rico the first to reach the hand bike, but it's very, very close.
Almost a dead heat as they hit the platform.
Now across the balance beam, Rico very steady, as is John Adams, side by side, almost again, up the cargo net now.
Rico just a head and shoulders ahead of John.
Touching that platform almost simultaneously, now onto the zip line. Here comes Rico, here comes John. And it looks like the only way John could win this thing is if one of the Gladiators is successful in holding off Rico at the finish line. Let's see what happens. Well, at 210 pounds, Rico a little too much power for Laser there at the end. Rico will advance to the quarterfinals as John scrambles across the finish line as well.
John a little frustrated, a trying run, and then met up with Thunder at the end. But he has nothing to be ashamed of. It was a great effort.
After an absolutely fabulous final event, the Eliminator, it is Rico Costantino who goes on to the quarterfinals by virtue of his victory over John Adams, and that was a tremendous run. Which was the most difficult part for you?
The cargo net. You can't get a sure footing on it. It wiggles and moves in and out, and your opponent's climbing up with you. He wiggles and jerks, and you just got to take it slow. Sure-footed, then take your step. If you don't, your foot will go through it, and you stop.
Okay, catch your breath for a second, because your adversary, John Adams, was very formidable. You know, during that bicycle, you had about a 5-yard lead, and then he was able to catch up, and you were side by side all the way.
Rico is right at exactly when you get on the cargo net. I thought I was cruising, then all of a sudden Rico shakes it, and then I lose it, and then it just goes back and forth that way.
Well, gentlemen, congratulations, a terrific run. But Rico, you know for sure that you're going to the quarterfinals. Thank you. John, you'll have to wait. Best of luck. Let's hope you do it.
Two very tough competitors, and that brings it up with a men's final score. Rico 73, John 52, and that makes Rico's girlfriend very happy.